This guy's the one who fixes them up whenever they've got, scoliosis or
One, two,
whatever.
three, four.
Hey, how you doing out there? I'm Von Klaus, comic book author, writer, artist, more times writer these days than artist. Enjoying making my own comic book with a team of a great artist and an incredible colorist, a horror comedy by the name of Monster MD. Oh man, I can't wait to get this book in your hands. It's something that's been more of a passion of mine for years, not just because of the story, but because I feel like everything I've been working on since I was, 9 years old and I made my first comic has been building up to this book, this crazy horror comedy about a doctor to the local monsters and his invisible surgical assistant, Heidi H. Hyde. It's a story of, if you can imagine, a doctor to the local monsters who has to hide out and secretly perform surgeries, and for everything from surgery to dentistry or just helping a monster re up his prescription for contacts. And he has to do it in private in this awesome van he's built that's his medical. Uh, he can go to help people. He can bring you in, work on you. He has a lot of tech, but it's like a mob doctor in a lot of ways. It's secretive. It's not doesn't have the best of gear. He has to make it work somehow, and he has to be creative and thoughtful, and sometimes it can be pretty hilarious. And he has to figure out all these random kind of fun ways to deal with all these different species of monster or cryptid, as he calls them. It's a type of species. So it's this whole world I've developed, but I haven't overdone the world building. I like to keep my world building simple and focus more on the characters and their internal struggles and everything. So yeah, but imagine, if you will, a world where every monster you've ever seen or heard of pretty much does exist, is out there somewhere, roaming in the dark. And this guy's the one who fixes them up whenever they've got, scoliosis or whatever. So yeah, it was a really funny premise. My this particular story in this world is about our doctor, the good doctor or bad, however you want to see him, has kind of lost his will to do what he does, and then he freaks out even more whenever his surgical assistant Heidi is kidnapped by this masked madman who took his arm and ruined his surgical career already in the past. So he has to kind of stand up to his nightmares or not and try to save Heidi, or is he going to abandon monster mending for good? It's a great story. I've been working on it forever. I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's the team we have working on it is amazing. It's just mwah. It's just mwah. Anyway, so but here's the thing: the world of Monster MD is not too unlike what we have now. It's just that all of this is kind of happening behind the scenes. So it's kind of this fun, under layer of what you see every day of this world of monsters and creepy cryptids, and Wyatt and Heidi, of course, get to be a part of that. And so I draw from real lore, but part of the fun of this book is I make up my own lore based on that. Maybe that will end up being proven to be a myth or just proven to be a half truth, and you'll discover these cool ways in which I've mixed real mythology on different monsters with. A doctor going, well, it's true to a point, but it's also not, So there's a lot of cool things like that. He's also a hero who defeats things and problems by using his head and his brawn in different cases. So he's not just all fists and he's not just all brain. He's a fun mix of both. So you get good action and you get good, thoughtful, kind of funny, witty witticisms and cool conversations and cool ways of solving problems that you wouldn't expect. So I mean, this is a great book. It kind of has it all. I mean, at least in my opinion, it's got your action, it's got your monsters, it's got your drama, it's got a drop of romance, and hopefully you guys will want to check it out. How it came to be is kind of an interesting story because it started off as a Pixar short in my head. For real, it was like a fun family outing to the movies. I imagined it as animated and this weird doctor working on these monsters and how funny that would be. And the jokes kind of started writing themselves. It was fun. I think I might have just written down the words like monster doctor, like put it away on my computer and just left it there for years. Didn't even like look at it for years. And then one night I had a nightmare nightmare about a guy in this dimly lit makeshift lab on wheels inside this, giant truck that he built with this werewolf on an operating table, strapped down, roaring, snapping, trying to claw him trying to work on this werewolf, pulling bullets out of it while, it keeps healing up. You can barely get the bullets out. There's blood. Everybody's screaming. I mean, it was insane. It was not, it's like the opposite of Pixar, right? And I realized that's what I needed to do with this. This is more fun. And I immediately started writing a script. So I've written multiple scripts. I even started to make an older comic book version of this some time back that I have since moved on from and moved on to this new team and made a much better, much higher quality book to share with you guys. And it's been quite a journey. In fact, this journey, I feel like my whole life has been trying to make things and it not being quite what I wanted, not being quite there, right? But for me, this book, like this is it, man. This is my vision. This is what I've been wanting to make. Wyatt is a great character with a lot of complexity. He can be stubborn and arrogant. He can be funny. He can be kind. He can be gentle. He can be tough. He really kind of has it all. There's a lot I want to explore. And even better, this book is not going to be the only book. If we have a successful campaign on Indiegogo, I'm thinking more books, more stories lay ahead for Wyatt and Heidi. So thanks so much for tuning into this. What else is there? There's so much more to tell you guys, I'm sure. Heidi's kind of interesting. She actually seems to have more of a fan club than our lead character does. Invisible Nurse, like what's her past? I plan to write a story about that if you guys want to keep up with this. It's kind of amazing. I'll show you how she became invisible and what kind of loss she's dealt with in her life. She's kind of an awesome character. I'm kind of debating on whether to make her more down to earth or more like crazy Indiana Jones adventure girl. So there's a lot going on. Other than that, every monster you can imagine is in this book. That's part of what makes it so fun. Anything you can imagine, it's there. So yeah, I'm kind of covering all my bases here. It's an idea that kind of almost wrote itself in a lot of ways, and that's kind of part of the fun of it. Monster MD to me means me kind of coming out with the greatest thing I've ever made and working with the best artists I've ever worked with. And I'm not just saying that to promote the book, you guys. This is really something that is special. It's really special to me, and I can't wait till I get to share it with you, the awesome fans who've like supported me and so many other great artists and books lately in the indie scene. So thank you for that. So it's been quite a trip, man, getting to where I am. All my life, I've been trying to make that one amazing comic. I think a lot of us are, and who are, trying to do this. And I finally have the opportunity to do it. And I'm just so grateful to people who are supportive about that. So thank you. Because this is kind of like a dream come true. It's not just about publishing my own book for the first time. It really is just finally kind of having my vision come out for the first time. I've made multiple films that have been altered by people. I've made art that's been censored by people. I've had, you wouldn't believe how much has just been altered, mutilated, mutated that I've created and not turned out the way you want it, And then for once in your life, you feel like, oh my God, this is gonna come out the way I want it. What's cool too about this book is you're gonna get good horror. It's not just me being goofy and making cheesy medical puns or monster puns the whole time. It really knows when to hit the horror, when to hit the drama. I like my meals robust, and I like my movies to be like my meals, and I like my stories to be like my meals. So I like my movies and comics and novels and everything I'm into, my video games. Give me something hearty and full of layers and goodness. Let's make this shit casserole style, okay? What else? It's been a great book to work on so far with the amazing Italian artist Marco Maccagni. He's an unstoppable force, as you can see by these samples I've been showing you here. And then our incredible colorist Tanya Wicker, who she's just... she blows everyone away, and no one even knows her. No one knows Marco or Tanya, which is just ridiculous. After this book, I hope they're known and they get better work, and hopefully they don't leave me too far behind. But these are incredible artists. They deserve your attention, and they work so well together, as you can see from these samples. So be sure to keep them in your thoughts as you're checking out my book, and maybe look for some other stuff they've done. But other than that, guys, thanks so much for listening to me ramble about it. I just wanted to share some more cool facts with you about it. It's been quite a trip getting here to finally make this, and I've never been more excited about anything I've ever created. So please check out Monster MD come May on Indiegogo. Please check out in the description. I have a link for a mailing list where, guess what? Anyone who signs up for it is going to get a exclusive tier to something very special that only you will be able to get as a person who signed up. All you have to do is put in your email. That's it. So please do that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends about this book. Let's share it around. Let's share this video. Share some great art with the comic community. I'm Von Klaus, and I really appreciate you tuning in. And take her easy. Until next time, people.